Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Ron Sukenick. Ron is the LinkedIn speaker, author, and a coach. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Ron Sukenick.
Very
Ron,
good. Thank you. It's great to be with you, Mohammed. And you said it right, Sukenick. Thank you.
finally, I did it. Okay. Ron, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Well, I was out connecting and being with people, Mohammed, and I was able to speak at a level where I can make a difference for people. So what happened? People started to be moved by the message. As a speaker, you go from the head to the heart. Heart fully develops before brain. So where was I? I was out talking with people. What happened? People came up to me. I had acquisition editors from different publishing companies that came to me and said, "Hey, I love the message. If you can deliver the message, if you want to write a book, we could publish it." And so what inspires me the most is when I can talk to people at a level where I can make a difference, Mohammed.
Mm,
I'm
huge.
sure you're the same way.
I'm still learning. I'm a student. So let me move forward to this. What are the top three mistakes to avoid to grow your business?
Oh my goodness. Just three, huh? No, well, one of them is not having money to fund the development of the business. So that's a mistake. Sometimes people just have a lot of passion and think they can get into it. I'll tell you another thing that I found interesting. So not surrounding myself with a mentor or a board of advisors, having a good attorney, having a good CPA to give me focus and direction on where I was heading. Another thing that I think is important, but I think everybody says the same thing. Not having the deals in place prior to moving into my business. And I've learned that lesson. Those were mistakes, but I stopped making those mistakes. When I transition into more business, I have deals and projects and strategic partners in place. So I hope that's enough. Three mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah. Ron, what is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
Oh my goodness. My greatest failure story. I've made so many mistakes, Mohammed. And that's why it's good to hire me sometimes as a coach, because I've already made the mistakes you don't have to make, right? For people. But my greatest failure, I think, was starting projects and not completing them. There was a time, Mohammed, where I would confuse activity for accomplishment. I get involved in projects and I never complete them. What did I learn? I've got a plan. I've got to have a track to run on. And how did I recover? I got it. I realized from those mistakes that I've got to follow it through. I've got to have a vision of what it looks like that's more inspiring than what was going on. So I lay a track and have a plan to go from where I am to where I want to be. And I get to a high level of commitment. The highest level commitment, there's 5 levels of commitment, Mohammed. The highest one is whatever it is. The lowest level, which is level 1, is I
Okay.
don't really care.
I lost the audio in the highest level. Please start from that again. Just restart that part.
Yeah. Yeah. To me in life, there are 5 levels of commitment. And the lowest level is I don't really care. The highest level is whatever it takes. So I only play at the highest level. Right below the highest level is number 4. Number 4 is committed unless, like for instance, this morning I was committed to go running unless I didn't get out of bed. And by the way, number 3 is wishing, hoping, and praying. Hey, hoping is wanting something in exchange for nothing, and wishing, hoping, and praying is not a great strategy. And by the way, number two is I'm trying, but just doing it is so much easier than trying. And then, by the way, getting back to number 1, I asked my wife, "Honey, would you like to go to dinner?" She says, "I'd love to." I said, "Where would you like to go?" She said, "I really don't care." You see, she's committed, but at a very low level. So I said to her, I said, "Honey, How about let's have some sushi? She says, no, I don't want sushi. You see, I can get her up the ladder, but she was committed, but at the low end.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So
Hopefully, she's not watching this interview. Otherwise, you will not have a food after this anymore. So,
that's it. Could be. It could be.
Iran, I'm about to ask you a question. I want your commitment. You will give me your best answers on this one. Is that right? Do I have
Yeah, sure.
So, what are your top three success secrets that others can model from?
Oh wow! What are my top three success secrets? The key to success is still a secret for me. Maybe not for you, but for me, it's still a secret. Hey, persistence removes resistance. If you talk to anybody and they say no, you're probably talking to the wrong person. So for me, repetition builds reputation. Increased interaction gives you increased cooperation. So my top secrets. Uh, is to go after the relationship, Muhammad. I'm not into making sales. I'm into going after the relationship. I'm into giving people what's wanted and what's needed. I want to be relevant. And I know this, most relationships are built in some form of reciprocity. And I know that if I help you, it makes it easier for you to want to help me. And if we help one another, you and I are going to do better as a result.
Mm, wonderful. Any bonus you want to share?
Any bonus
Bonus,
tips?
yeah, bonus success secret tip. Yeah.
Yeah, another success tip. My God, you gotta get you just got to get a vision of something that's more exciting than what's going on. You've got to lay a solid, strong foundation of a track that you can run on. You got to surround yourself with the people that have been there, done that, know how to get it done, and know what to do next. I was listening to a video. It's a great video, Muhammad. Steve Jobs. I know you know the name from Apple. He did a video. It's on YouTube. It's a minute and 43 seconds. A minute and 43 seconds. Very short. And he's talking about failure, about failing in business. And he said this. He said he never called anybody and asked for help where they weren't willing to help him. So you want to know a great secret? Ask for help, because then you're going from the head to the heart. Most people love the idea of helping. I love helping people. I want to help people, right?
Mm.
So that's Steve Jobs, 143. It's a short video, but it's a wonderful video.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ron, we are about to get into a lightning round. It's a quick question and quick answer. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Quick lightning round. Let's do it.
Okay. What are you grateful for today?
Oh, my family, my children, and the military.
How young are you?
71 years young.
Ron, you are not 71. You are 18 years old with a 53 years experience.
Good. Yeah, I like that. I got to remember that.
Yes. What what you want to do when you grow up?
Well, I wanted to be in law enforcement. I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to be a policeman. And then I got to the point where I wanted to serve my country. And so when I grow up, I just want to continue to make a difference in the lives of people. People that are struggling, people that need help, people that need focus, people that need direction. I want to take my experience and help them.
Thank you. And how do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
Wow. I step back, Muhammad. I listen to music. I'm a big Beatle fan. I listen to the Beatles, certain songs. So I listen to music. I do some meditation. I sit and I kind of think about things, because thinking is a high level activity. So continuous thought is if there's a challenge, I think about what I'm going through, and I know that if I change the way I see things, the things I'm looking at will change.
How do you start your day?
Waking up in the morning. I wake up in the morning. I'm of the Jewish faith, Muhammad, so I do what is known as the Modeh Ani. I'm very interested in being thankful. Somebody told me that when I was born, that God said that the reason why I was born was because the world could not exist without me being there. And I love that. So I start the day being thankful that I've got another day out there. I wash my face, brush my teeth, and send a love note to my wonderful bride of 40 years and to my daughter who's 34. I send them little texts about how much I love them and care about them.
What is the advice you will give to younger yourself?
Well, make sure you have your shit together before you do anything. I mean, excuse the expression. I'm sorry about that. But, just surround yourself with people that have been there, done that, know how to get it done, what to do next. Muhammad, I've learned early on that you got to surround yourself with people that know how to get things done. I'm not a self-made, if I think about all the success, Muhammad, I've ever had in my life, it's always been through the help of people. So building successful networks that are vibrant, engaging, that's what I'm all about.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
Well, she's convinced. We've been together about 40 years. So she just likes she controls the money I get the money coming in. She does something with the money. So, but years ago, Muhammad, to be honest, I had to convince her. Early on, she didn't believe me in certain things because I'm a creative guy. I'm an outgoing guy. I like people. I like inspiring things. I'm not short of great ideas. And I tried a lot of things and they haven't worked. But hey, what's the difference between a 250 and a 333 hitter in baseball? And the 333 hitter just gets up and hits the ball one more time. So I don't have to convince my wife anymore. She's convinced.
Wonderful. What is the impactful book you have read and what did you learn from it?
Well, there's so many of them, but I'll tell you, here's one book. This was the E-Myth put out by Michael Gerber. I had a chance to work with Michael Gerber for about 3 years, produced his first radio show, did some concerts with events, conventions with him. But what did I learn? Look, just because you know how to do something and you're really good at it doesn't necessarily mean you know how to run a business. I think that's confusing. And then, of course, Michael always talked about working on the business as opposed to just being in it. If a business depends on you, then you don't have a business, you have a job. Most people are working in the business, working for the business. And the last thing that I want to mention that I've always learned from the book or learned from Michael is using a system. When I put things in place, I use systems. Systems are predictable and reliable. I always remember going into the breakout room at E-Myth Worldwide out in California, and Michael had all the instructions on how you make coffee. Now, everybody makes coffee the same exact way, but he was looking to produce a result, and he had a whole instruction manual on how to make coffee in that company. So that's what I learned from Michael, and he was great. Michael, I think, is about 80-something years old. He's still with us. But that's just one of many, many books that have certainly made a difference for me in my life and business.
Why being impactful is important to you?
Well, because I'd like to be impressed. I like to be impacted. I take that as something that's a meaning. It means something to me. Look, we're like, as human beings, Muhammad, we make meaning out of everything. So I attach meaning to things that are positive. And, I stay away from a negative mindset. I try to keep a very positive mindset. And I have a way of looking for the good, if you will. So being impactful is important because I make meaning out of it and I make it mean something positive in support of my business.
Who is your mentor and what's the impact?
Who is my mentor? Wow, I've had a few of them. Well, Michael Gerber was certainly a mentor to me at one point. I've never been mentored by Steve Jobs from Apple, but I liked a lot of what he said and what he did, and you can like a lot of his videos. Um, my daughter, who's 34 years old, has mentored me. I wanted to make her feel good when she was growing up, so I told her, "You can be my life coach." Made her feel good.
Yeah.
Don't tell her I said that.
Yeah, yeah. No one knows it. It's you and me and everybody on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. That's it. Nobody else knows this.
Yeah,
So,
but
what do you want to be remembered for?
oh, what do I want to be remembered? I want to be remembered for being a really nice, friendly guy, a guy that was a very giving guy, a guy that was always there for people when they needed him, a guy that just can make anything happen at any time, anywhere in the world, and can do it this week. And really, that's probably the truth, Muhammad. I can make anything happen anywhere in the world. I can do it this week. You just got to give me at least a week, and that's because I've built a lot of relationships with a lot of people, and not just on LinkedIn, which you and I know is the largest professional database in the world, but yeah, that's what I like to be remembered for. Being a nice, friendly guy that was a giver, and gave more than he ever wanted, and money wasn't meaning everything to him.
Wonderful. Who is your ideal client?
Well, from the standpoint of my LinkedIn coaching, Mohammed, it would be anybody that's just not getting a good experience. They're not inspired. They're not sure why they're on LinkedIn. They're not optimized. They're not relevant. They have no connection strategy. And for most people, they want to build a network and they want to do business. Well, guess what? It's a business network. So if they don't know how to go from high tech to high touch, and they're just not getting business, and they don't know how to get optimized, and they need somebody to inspire them and help them leverage it, that could be anybody in business, and that can be anybody in a company that's not all on the same page. And a lot of companies make that mistake. So ideal clients are those individuals.
Wonderful. How can we support you?
Well, I think that people, if they just understand how to reach me,
Yeah.
they can go to ronsukenick.com. You got it all together. You got all the secrets. Yeah, right. They just go to ronsukenick.com and they can talk to me. I've got, and you know what I've got? I've got a lot of free resources. I got a lot of podcasts. I got a lot of articles. They can read some great stuff. They can listen to great stuff. They can get on my calendar. We can talk. Um, but that's how you can support me. And I can never have any connections. I can never have too many friends.
Yeah, yeah, wonderful. We are about to wrap up, Ron. I'm about to ask you a question where you can actually share your today's guest experience on the show. Here is my question. What would you say about your guest experience on the show?
Well, what I would say, Muhammad, is that you've got it together. How's that? Yeah, all those questions that you're throwing at me, you got it all up there, so we can see it. You've got a turnkey solution. You're a fun person to be with. You're making a difference for people, and and you gave me a video that I can watch so I can understand what I was getting into. So not everybody does that. Not everybody has it all together. So it was just a good experience, a fun experience, and I thank you for that experience.
What would you say as a final word?
What would I say as a final word? It's amazing what can get done when you bring the right group of people together.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ron, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.